Today's video is brought to you by the Ridge wallet, ridge.com/PIMPNITE. The Ridge is a quality, minimalistic front pocket product designed to upgrade from the old, bulky wallet. The Ridge is slim, RFID blocking, holds up to 12 cards and room for cash. It also has over 30,000 5-star reviews. The Ridge wallet comes in a whole range of styles, including carbon fiber, forged carbon, titanium, and many other styles to suit your needs. Ridge also offers other great accessories like phone cases, bags, mobile charging, knives, and a lot of other great quality products. Take advantage of the free shipping so you can get it fast, free returns if you don't like it, and it comes with a lifetime guarantee. Get 10% off today with free worldwide shipping and returns by going to ridge.com/PIMPNITE. That's right, ridge.com/PIMPNITE, and use code PIMPNITE, link in the description. Thanks Ridge for the channel sponsor and to all those who have purchased their products.
What's up YouTube? For today's video, we're the full Force Moves Pokemon team. Alright, I was forced to do this one, okay? Now, with the Force Moves, there's only 4 of them, and there's only a 2 ability, so it was a very, very difficult and limited team to do. With these videos, right, I'm only allowed to attack with Force Moves. However, I allow myself some status to be realistic so I can make some strategies work, right? Now, we got 2 battles today. My first opponent, I wasn't really sure what their name is. Maybe someone can help me out there. Thank you to everyone who's been helping me translate some of these other Pokemon trainer names. So, we got a Mewtwo lead. I'd lead with Bronzong. Now, there's not a lot I can really do with Bronzong because the only Force move that Bronzong knows is Expanding Force, right? So, we got Trick Room, Psychic Terrain, Expanding Force, and Trick. Now, the item I gave my Bronzong was Ring Target, so I could actually trick a Dark-type Pokemon Ring Target, and then I could use Expanding Force on it, right? Now, Mewtwo, which is actually really good for me, is going to be swapping into Calyrex, right? And Calyrex, I thought, well, I might be able to use Fighting-type moves on Calyrex too, so I might go for a Trick after I set the Trick Room up. Now, at least here I've got some sort of speed control, so Calyrex won't sweep my team as easily, right? So Expanding Force, let's face it, it's going to do nothing, right? And I'm probably going to get destroyed by Astral Barrage. So I thought about this for a bit. I was like, you know what? Let's go for the trick and let's make those fighting type moves be able to hit the Calyrex. Not that it's going to be not very effective still, but it's still going to do some damage. Then Calyrex had Dynamax Candy. Dynamax Candy Calyrex only on PIMPNITE's channel. I hope that is the top comment. I really, really do. Anyway, so I'm going, Bronzong's going to get absolutely destroyed there. Nothing I really could have done. I mean, it's a very, very difficult Pokemon to swap into, right? So the Grimnay is going to give it a special attack rise, and I got to stop this thing. It's very, very powerful, right? So we got Conkeldurr here. This is a Force Palm Sheer Force set. The only Pokemon to get that sort of cool combination. Yeah. So we're going to go for Force Palm here, and it doesn't do a lot of damage. Of course, there's no paralyzed chance because Sheer Force is taking that one away. So here comes another Astral Barrage, and of course, Conkeldurr is not going to be able to live that one. That was a max attack and max health Conkeldurr, and we had like Bulk Up, Attract, and Focus Energy as the other moves there too. And I think I had Scope Lens on that one as well. So another Grimnay for the Calyrex. Things are looking very grim right now. And I'm going to go into Drifblim here. So this Drifblim is more of a stalling set. We got Phantom Force, Toxic Stockpile, and Strength Sap, right? Max Health and Split Defense. Sorry, Max Health and Max Special Defense. We're going to go for Phantom Force here because I want to take this thing out right. There's one more turn now left of the Trick Room, and this at least may cause a swap, but they stayed in on the Phantom Force there. I'm going to give Calyrex a little tap to get it riding, but it's going to go down, right? So that's really, really good. They're getting rid of that very, very threatening Pokemon, right? That would have had like +3 up if I didn't take it out. So a good start there, getting rid of that, and now Zacianga's going to come in. So this team, I'm going to be real with you. This team is just like absolutely stacked, right? So I've already lost 2 Pokemon at this point. Zacian, once again, is a very, very hard Pokemon to swap into. Now, this is a Unburdened Keyberry set. At this point in time, Keyberry hadn't been activated, and I just got one-shotted by Wild Charge then. So Drifblim is going to go down. The only positive that came out of that, Zacian did take some recall damage. Next Pokemon is Darmanitan, and Darmanitan, I want to run a Zen mode set, because I really like Zen mode Darmanitan, and we've got on this one Substitute, Expanding Force, Yawn, and Workup. So once again, a very, very difficult set to run because we've only got one move to work with. So I went for Substitute here in hopes that I would live that one and get a sub up, but I didn't. However, the good thing about this is I get a Salic Berry there, and I'm going to get a +1 in speed. So Substitute is going to fail, and Zen Mode is going to trigger there and turn me into the Zen Mode Darmanitan. So with this Pokemon stats, right, they completely swap around. It's very, very slow, and it's got very, very big special attack instead of very big attack and being very, very fast, right? That's why I ran a Salic Berry. At this case, I knew that Expanding Force would do like no damage at all, so I really had to try and set up the rest of my Pokemon remaining going for a yawn there. But trust me, Darmanitan has a very, very cool little segment in this video. Maybe you should watch all the way. There might be something entertaining at the end. Anyway, no more spoilers there. We're going to go into Giratina here. And this Giratina set pretty much only has Shadow Force. So we got Shadow Force, Rest, Sleep Talk, and Hone Claws. This was a max health and max defense set. It was very, very bulky. Sorry, it was max health and max attack. A very, very bulky set right there. And what we're going to be doing, right, is we're going to be making use of Hone Claws, right, and boosting her attack and going for Shadow Force. So the Zaxion's going to go for Behemoth Blade. I totally never saw that one coming. And it did about half health, a little bit over half health, I guess, to my Giratina. So there's no way that I'm going to be able to live like another one, right? So what I'm going to do, go for the Shadow Force there, and I'm going to disappear into the void. Now, Zacian is going to go to sleep due to the yawn from my Darmanitan before. So that, I mean, that's a good thing, right? Now, instead of staying in, they're going to swap it out, and they're going to be bringing in Eternatus. So it's like, okay, definite Dragon-type move coming my way here, whether it's going to be, I don't know, a Turner Beam or a Dynamax Cannon. And so regardless, going for that attack that does pretty good damage there, taking about half of Eternatus' health away. Now, what do I do here? Do I go for Rest or I go for Shadow Force? Like, nah, let's go for Shadow Force. I got to get some sort of damage here. Now, Eternatus is going to fire Uranus out of its Saturn, or I mean Saturn out of its Uranus, and that is definitely going to take me out there. Nothing I can pretty much do there. I've only got one more Pokemon remaining, and this Pokemon is probably the best on my team. So we got Marshadow here. Now, Marshadow has actually got Force Palm, which is going to be powered up by Technician because it's 60 base power, and it's also got Phantom Force. I also gave it Swagger and Bulk Up too. Now, the item I gave this is Power Herb, so I thought, do I go for Dynamax here, or do I go for the Phantom Force and then get the Power Herb? So I went for Phantom Force, and I was hoping this would be enough to actually take it out. We got Jolly Nature and Max Speed and Max Attack. So getting that Phantom Force off right away there from the Power Herb, and it fails to take it out. Eternatus now is going to go for a Turner Beam. So I was like, oh man, this is going to do a lot of damage. Like, if I need to be able to live this attack, then I might be able to Dynamax this on like a really, really low amount of health, right? I feel like this attack for Eternatus sort of makes up for the fact that the Eternatus isn't in the game, right? So I take that a little bit better than I thought, right? And now Marshadow has a chance here. I thought, no, I'm not going to go for a Dynamax. I'm going to go for a Bulk Up here. So I'm going to get that Bulk Up, boosting my defense and attack by one stage. And that's going to make Marshadow a pretty powerful Pokemon there with its Force Palm. But it doesn't end here, people. I want to take Eternatus out, so I thought, let's go for Dynamax right now, and let's go for Max Knuckle. And that should be enough to take out the Eternatus. It's only got a little bit of health left. And then I'll still have 2 turns in Dynamax suit, and I'll be able to use very powerful attacks. I'll be able to go for Max Knuckle at +2, and I'll be able to go for my Max Phantasm off the Phantom Force there without waiting for a recharge, right? But at this point in game, I've still got, it's 1-5 at the moment, so I've only got 1 Pokemon left, and they've got 5 left, so oh man, I'm really going to have to somehow clutch to get back into this, right? So I go for the Max Knuckle here. That's going to give me an additional +1 in attack. And now we've got +2 in attack, which is very, very good. And we've also got very, very good speed there. Now remember, there is a Mewtwo left. There's a Zacian, there's a Eternatus, and there's a couple of other bulky Pokemon left there too, right? So finally, I take a Pokemon out there. It is now 1-4. So 4 Pokemon to go. So out comes here Regigigas. I was like, okay, Regigigas, I can at least use Max Knuckle against that. If they Dynamax it, at least we got Slow Start in the mix, and I've also got a Bulk Up. So I believe I'll be able to live that really, really badly if they do go for Dynamax. But instead, they didn't. They just stayed in, and Regigigas gets absolutely annihilated. So that's going to give me +3 in attack now. And when you give PIMPNITE +3 in attack with a Marshadow, you are in trouble. So we've got +3 in attack right now. The next Pokemon to come out is Suicune. So it's like, okay, Suicune, if this Dynamaxes, I'm going to need to land a Max Phantasm on it, right? I believe that'll still be enough damage to take it out, unless it's something stupidly bulky like Max Health and Max Defense, which it can, you know, definitely run with a calm mindset. So I've got Max Phantasm. I was thinking about my options, or should I go for another Max Knuckle? It's like, nah, let's just go for Max Phantasm. Let's get that damage up right there on the Suicune. Suicune does not Dynamax, and that is going to take it out in one shot easily there. So that is another Pokemon down. All my opponents got left is a Zacian, which is asleep, and a Mewtwo. So they've got a Dynamax and Mewtwo, right? Now, the thing about this, I won't be able to attack them in one turn with Max Phantasm. I'm going to have to go for a Phantom Force, right off the rip. So I got to go for that, then wait one turn, then hit the Mewtwo again, right? So go for the Phantom Force right here. Hopefully I was going to actually outspeed there. Otherwise, I was definitely going to be going down. I was quite confident I would outspeed. So here we go, people. We've got the Mewtwo, which is going to be Dynamax. Now, Dynamax Mewtwo is going to be reasonably bulky. However, I do have +3 in attack, so it's going to be hitting very, very hard right there. So at this stage, Mewtwo is going to be able to take me out with, let's be real, a Confusion. So I'm going to be able to outspeed there against the Dynamax Mewtwo. So I'm going to vanish there. Mewtwo obviously is going to go for a Psychic type move, whatever Psychic type move, it doesn't really matter. Max Smite Sword is going to miss. And now I can go for my Phantom Force here against the Mewtwo. So they're thinking about it for a little bit, but they can't really swap in. So I went for Phantom Force there, and Mewtwo is going to get absolutely dropped. Nothing it could have done there. I mean, even if they swapped in Zacian, I could have gone for Phantom Force and then attacked them afterwards, right? So the last Pokemon here is the Sleeping Zacian, which I put to sleep from my dumb Maniton about midway into the battle there. They're going to swap it and get their +1 here. But I can definitely take this thing out with a Force Palm. And I tell you what, with Technician Force Palm and +3, this is going to be doing a giant amount of damage. I'm going to outspeed the Zacian. And that, my friends, is a end of the battle. Man, that was a pretty big comeback there with a Marshadow from 1-5 down. But lesson learned, people. You don't give PIMPNITE a powerful Pokemon and give him a +1 in attack, because you're going to get wrecked. All right, thank you for the battle there. I'm not sure who your name was. Let's get on to the second battle here. This one was against Art. I believe this was done on my Twitch stream. I believe it was. The first one was on the White Gum. So the first Pokemon here we have is a Rotom Fan. So I was like, okay, that's not the greatest matchup for Conkeldurr, right? I can go for Force Palm, but let's be real, it's going to do like no damage at all, right? So into Bronzong. So, okay, let's get Snap into the Bronzong. Let's get that Trick Room up, and let's get all that stuff going, right? And then the Rotom Fan is going to go for a Trick. So I'm like, oh, okay, my ring target's going to go to the Rotom Fan. I wonder what item they're going to give me, right? They gave me a Lagging Tail. So like, oh, that's not too bad. You know what? Fuck at that. I want my ring target back. You feel me? So it's going to go for the Paralyze on my Bronzong here. At this point in time, I'm like the slowest Pokemon in the world. I'm going to go for the Trick here on the Rotom Fan, and I'm going to give it I'm giving its Lagging Tail back, right? So I got my ring target back, and now they're going to swap out. So it's like, okay, that's going to be a troll set. I bet they're going to save that Lagging Tail for some point in the game. So the next Pokemon is Heatman, which is the Rotom Heat. So I'm like, okay, this is good. I've got the if they go for Overheat, right, I've actually got the heat-proof ability, so it won't do as much. But they went for Poltergeist instead, so it's a physical set. So that did about half my health. I'm going to be setting up the Psychic Terrain here. So like, okay, it did about half my health. If I can go for Trick Room here, and then I'll fire off some, powerful expanding forces from my Expand Dong, right? So we're going to go for the, we're going to definitely go for the Trick Room here. We got the Poltergeist coming from the Rotom Heat, and the second Poltergeist actually hits me a little bit harder than the first one, and Bronzong is going to go down, so that sucks. So it must have been like, I don't know, max damage on the second one, right? So my next Pokemon is Conkeldurr. Once again, I can't do lots and lots of damage here. We got the Rotom Oven swapping out, and we got Quick Command coming in this time, which is the Blaziken. So it's like, okay, Blaziken, what's this going to do? So I went for Bulk Up anyway, regardless whether I'm going to swap or not. I thought I might be able to get a couple of Bulk Ups against the physical Rotom, right? Or Rotom Oven. Now Blaziken's going to outspeed me. It's going to fling a Poison Bomb, only on PIMPNITE's channel, and I'm going to get poisoned. That would have been really nasty if I was running Guts on this set, but I'm running Sheer Force, right? So also another thing to mention too, there was no Pokemon that had the Sand Force ability that could learn a Force move, which sort of was disappointing, but it is what it is, right? That was the only thing against running this team. I couldn't get every single Pokemon. Well, I couldn't get at least one Pokemon with Sand Force. I was a bit disappointed about that. But you know what? At least we got a Sheer Force, right? Regardless, back to the battle there. Blaziken's going to go for an Acrobatics here. I'm going to go for a Force Palm, and that absolutely destroys Blaziken there for the crit. So that's nice there, taking that out in one shot. So we've still got 2 more Rotoms left. I'm also thinking here too, with the 4th gen remakes, right? Are we going to get a new Rotom form? Because that would be really, really cool. I actually low-key want Rotom Toilet. All right, so Rotom Fans are going to come in. I'm going to go for the Force Palm there. Since it's got Lagging Tail, it actually gets outsped. Here comes the Air Slash. I thought it might be running that, and Conkeldurr is going to go down. At least I got some sort of, like, damage against it, right? So bye-bye Conkeldurr. I've still got 4 more Pokemon left, so it's not too bad. So I thought, you know what? This is a good time to send in Darmanitan, right? And see if we can get that Zen mode flowing here. So I thought, okay, I can go for a Trick here. If they do go for Trick, it's going to it's going to work in my favor, right? So unfortunately, they're going to swap into Rillaboom. So I was like, okay, this would be great if I had a Fire-type move, but since I've got an Expanding Force, I won't be able to hit it for super effective damage, right? So regardless, going for that Substitute there on my Darmanitan. So getting that Substitute up, which is going to be helpful, right? And I'm going to be able to take, like, any hits Rillaboom actually throws me, right? So since Darmanitan's running max speed and max special attack, I do tend to outspeed his ring, which is very, very handy, right? So go for Yawn there on the Rillaboom. This helps me sort of, like, get a Substitute up if I don't have one, or just go for workups, right? So Rillaboom's going to go for a Focus Energy. I was like, interesting, Focus Energy. Is this going to be just a 100% critting set? I really wasn't sure. So regardless, I'm going to go for a work up here. Going to be boosting my attack and special attack by 1 stage. Now, with Darmanitan Zen mode, right, when it goes into its slower form, it gets a huge amount of special attack. So if this gets like +1 in special attack, it's going to do a lot, right? Now, this is going to be a special Rillaboom there. Boo Burst gets past my sub and almost takes me out there. However, it does put me in range of my Sallyberry, which is great there. So +1 in speed. Now, what's going to happen since Darmanitan has gone below the half health there, or half or below, the Zen mode is going to kick in, and I'm going to have that Darmanitan Zen mode all ready to rock and roll there. So I could go for a Dynamax here, but I don't want to lose my sub. I thought, let's just go for Psychic Terrain and take this Rillaboom out, right? I've got +1 in special attack. It's going to do a lot, right? However, the Rillaboom's going to swap out, and Bubble Man's going to go into the battle here. So I thought, okay, Seismitoad. This will do a fair bit of damage, but I don't know if I'll be able to take it out. So go for the Expanding Force on Bubble Man there. Does some quality damage to it. This doesn't have any real way to outspeed me either, because I'm going to be +1 in speed. And I was running max speed. I ran Timid Nature on this one to make sure I'd go first, right? Especially in this thing. It's got very, very low base speed when you're in this form, right? Now I can go for another Expanding Force here with my Darmanitan, and that is going to take out the Seismitoad. So we've taken out another Pokemon here, and we're in a relatively powerful position. I guess the only good thing that I'd like to have was like a Psychic Terrain in the field that would really make Expanding Force hit like for a lot more base power, right? So that's about the only thing I'd like to have with this setup, right? Now the next Pokemon is Metal Man. Now unfortunately here, I got to swap out because I've got no other moves to hit it with. It's probably the only time you see a Darmanitan swap out on a Bishop with Substitute up, right? So swapping out there, I've only got a Psychic type move. I don't have my Bronzong, so I don't have my Ring target to swap to it. So we're going to go into Giratina here. And this is a Sucker Punch Bishop. So like, okay, Sucker Punch, that's interesting. And now it's going to go for Taunt. It's like, okay, Sucker Punch and Taunt. What strategy they got going here? So I went for the Shadow Force. Obviously, it's not going to do a lot to Bishop. It's about a 6-hit KO, and the item it's got is a Rocky Helmet there, so it's like, interesting, and it's got Metal Burst. So I see now. I know why they've got Taunt and Sucker Punch. That makes sense. So, obviously, what they're going to do, right, is against an opponent, they would go for Taunt to force them to attack, then they go for Metal Burst, right? Now, obviously, they could have, say if the opponent didn't want to, I don't know, if they were very, very slow, which they are, Bishop, they could go for a Sucker Punch to finish off opponents on low health too. So that was sort of what their set was about, is what I could see, right? So all I can do is go for the Shadow Force. I could start spamming Rest, but I don't want to do that. I just want to get some sort of damage against this thing, because it's actually quite good against my team. I've lost my Conkeldurr. A lot of my Pokemon couldn't do a lot. I mean, Marshadow could come in here, but I don't want to bring in Marshadow just yet, right? So here comes a final Metal Burst that's going to take out my Giratina. I could have stalled a little bit more of Rest, but I didn't really want to, right? I thought, let's do some damage to it and swap in Marshadow, right? Now, I could go for a bulk up here. I decided to go for Force Bomb just to get rid of this thing. And Metal Man is going to be going to the scrap heap after that. I do take some Rocky Helmet damage, but it is what it is, right? It doesn't really matter. I just want to get rid of it. So we got a Rotom Fan, we got a Rotom Oven, and a Rillaboom left. Man, there's all these Pokemon starting with R. I haven't even got to the Alphabet R team yet. So we're going to go for a Phantom Force here. I was hoping this will be enough to take it out, but I'm thinking, well, if it's a bulky set, probably not, right? So I'm going to spank that fan. It's still going to be spinning, though, and it doesn't take it out, right? Here comes the trick. I was like, I know what they're going to do. They're going to trick me that freaking lagging tail from the start of the game, right? So they're going to get the, they're going to get no item, right? Because I used it up, but I'm going to get the lagging tail, right? So here comes the Air Slash, and Air Slash flinches me there. Right there was such an important flinch, because I definitely could have taken out the Rotom Fan, right? Or something would have had to swap into my Phantom Force, right? So down goes Marshadow. All I've got left there is 2 more Pokemon. So I thought, you know what? The time is ripe to go into my Darmanitan. Now, since Zen Mode doesn't actually activate to the end of the turn, I can potentially use that to my advantage and go for Dynamax here and attack this Rotom, right? At the end of the turn, Darmanitan's Zen mode will kick in, and obviously I won't be as speedy as possible, right? And I won't have that Salic Berry from earlier on too, so I got to make sure, you know, that I get that right. So we got the Darmanitan here. I can definitely outspeed this, and I can set the Psychic Terrain on the field too. And we're going to go for Max Mind Storm. Now, Darmanitan's special attack is absolute trash, like, when it's not in Zen mode, so I was like, I'm glad that took it out right. I'm not sure if that crit mattered. I feel like it would have probably just been enough to take it out, but it could have mattered. I'm not really sure. We're doing very, very close. So Rotom Fan is going to go down, and we're going to set the Psychic Terrain up on the field. Now, the Zen mode is finally going to kick in here. Darmanitan is going to be into its little Zen mode form. This Pokemon actually legitimately doesn't move at all. If you look at it, it never moves. Like, its eyes don't even move. It's just standing there motionlessly in time, right? So here we go. I thought there was this would definitely draw a Dynamax Pokemon here to be able to, like, live this attack. And we've got Dynamax Rotom Oven here. So, man, you could bake your entire like, you could jump into the oven and bake yourself. I'm not sure you want to do that, but you could. You could bake all the food there you wanted to, right? Like, the loaf of bread that will come out there could be like the size of a stadium. Like, you could get that bread, make it. I know how they have a bread maker, right? You make your bread with the yeast and the flour and all that sort of stuff, and you sort of bring it out. It's kind of small. In this oven, that wouldn't happen. You'd have like a football-sized loaf of bread. Anyway, so I'm gonna hit by the Max Phantasm there, and Darmanitan is gonna go down. Unfortunately, I wasn't able to get any more boosts in special attack. So Rotom, if it's a bulky set with Dynamax, is gonna be able to live stuff pretty well, right? All right, last Pokemon is my Drifblim. What can I do here? All I can really do is go for Strength Sap. I know they've got Poltergeist as an attacking move, so I thought, at least if it's a physical set, I can drop its health and then heal myself up, right? The good thing is I actually went first there, because if I didn't go first, I would have got one-shotted. So, unfortunately for me, it's going to drop my defense, but I do have the Key Berry as the item, so that's going to kick in right there, and my Unburden at the same time is going to kick in too, so I'm going to be able to outspeed, you know, that Rillaboom as well if it was running a speedy set. So go for Strength Sap again. They're going to go for Max Guard, obviously blocking that. I could have gone for a Stockpile there, but I felt like getting my health back was, you know, more of a priority at this stage, right? Now, I can go for another Strength Sap here. I can definitely drop its attack, so it's like absolutely nothing. And then I can start the Stockpile up to make myself very bulky, and then I can put the Toxic down and start Phantom Forcing, right? That was sort of the, you know, the opportunity I could go for after setting them up. However, Rotom is going to go for a rest there, so it's going to get all of its health back. I'm like, okay, this is going to be hard to take out, and we've only got a couple of minutes left of the battle. The cursed 20-minute timer, people. It's going to have Chester Berry as the item. So, okay, right, the weirdness is going to disappear from the field. Not that it really made too much of a difference there. I could go for the Stockpile. So I was confident that I could tank anything this thing really threw at me, right? So here comes a Overeat, so it was actually a mix set there in the end, and Overeat doesn't even scratch the surface after, you know, me running max health and max special defense, right? So Rotom is going to be taking a Toxic here, and I thought, if the Rillaboom comes in, I can just poison that too. I know that I did put it to sleep earlier, but once it wakes up, you know, I could definitely poison it and then go for the Phantom Force and take it out there. So we got 2 minutes left of the battle. Rotom's going to go for a Thunder Wave now, so this is like Thunder Wave, Phantom Force, Overeat's Rest. So that's what the set was, right? It's like a mixed set with Thunder Wave and Rest. Now the Rotom's going to swap out and Rillaboom's going to come in. It's like, okay, Rillaboom, I wonder what you can actually do to me. So it's going to have the Grassy Surge back there, so the Grassy Terrain's going to come back onto the field. We got like about a minute of this battle to go, right? And I can go for a Toxic the next turn, right? So I get Paralyzed this turn. Woodman's going to be asleep right now. Woodman actually is going to be waking up very soon, but I thought, you know what? The best thing to do here would go for the Strength Sap to get my health back. If it does have a physical move there, I've at least covered myself. If it doesn't, well, I've got full health, so nothing to lose right there. So we've got 60 seconds left of the battle here. Rillaboom's going to go for a Focus Energy here. So I was like, okay, this is really cool. So even though I'm paralyzed, Unburden's actually still allowing me to outspeed this Rillaboom. So I went for the Toxie. I was quite confident I could take Rillaboom out. It was just a Rotom was going to be a big sort of stall wall, right? So 30 seconds left of this battle. I was wondering, what is this going to do? It's obviously going to try and get past my Stockpile boost. It's going to go for a Leaf Storm. So Leaf Storm is going to be 100% critting here. I'm guessing they've got Scope Lens as the item. But even then, it's a 3-hit KO. And it's not going to be doing like lots and lots of damage. So I'm going to get paralyzed there. We got 10 seconds left of this battle, and that pretty much is it, people. That is the end of the battle. We got timer stalled out there by 20 minutes. I've got a little bit of extra salt here to end the battle off. I really hope you enjoyed it, and I'll catch you tomorrow. Peace out, people.